I am speaking to you now because love will not let me be silent, because mercy is faster than the shadow that tries to reach you, because your name has been engraved upon my palm since the day you first opened your eyes and breathed the air I gave you, and because there is a clock that you have felt in your chest, a countdown that trembles through your ribs and whispers the same truth again and again. 35 minutes matter. Listen, beloved, for I am not far and I am not vague. I am close enough to steady your heartbeat and clear your sight. I am close enough to interrupt what was meant to break you. Archangel Michael is standing beside you at my command, and he is not there to frighten you but to warn you. To shield you, to move what must be moved so that you are not moved. When the sound of emergency rattles the edges of your thoughts, do not mistake it for panic. It is the bell I am ringing to wake you before a storm hits the window. A big tragedy has been plotting a path toward you, choosing hours and exits, rehearsing the lines of fear it wishes to speak into your ear. But I am God and I do not stand aside while darkness drafts a script for my child. I alter the scene. I reverse the words. I step between you and the blow. I reroute the arrow mid-flight and send it back empty. You have felt unusual pressure in the small places of your day, the way a message seems louder than it should. The way a familiar face carries a sharper edge, the way a plan keeps wobbling even though you measured it twice. That pressure is not random, it is a signal light on your dashboard. I am telling you to pull over from old patterns and let me into the driver's seat for these next minutes, because your destination cannot be risked to chance. Do not say you are strong enough to push through. Strength without guidance becomes stubbornness, and stubbornness in a storm becomes a sail that cannot be lowered. Hear me. Set down what is in your hands for a moment. Breathe. Bring your whole attention here. Archangel Michael has already answered my order to clear the air around you, to expose any voice that lies. To silence the whisper that suggests you are late, abandoned, or unworthy of rescue. You are not late, you are right on time for deliverance. You are not abandoned, I am inside your breath. You are not unworthy, the worth of your soul is measured by the price I have already paid, and that price does not depreciate with days or failures. There are people whose words you have trusted because they arrive with a practiced smile or a familiar name. I am lifting the veil so you see the difference between a smile and peace, between noise and wisdom, between proximity and loyalty. Not every call deserves an answer tonight. Not every door should be opened simply because someone knocks with urgency. Tragedy often arrives dressed as urgency, wisdom arrives as clarity. I am giving you clarity now. If a choice feels foggy, pause. If a message demands action but starves you of peace, step back. If a plan promises everything but forces you to hide me in the attic of your heart, walk away no matter how shining it looks from the street. Remember, the wolf favors costumes, but teeth remain teeth. I am not leaving you alone with this discernment. Michael's sword is not for show, it is for separation, of truth from almost truth, of pure intent from practiced performance, of covenant from convenience. You asked me recently if I truly see all of you, the tired parts, the parts that pretend, the parts that fear being ordinary and unloved. I see you, and I am not disgusted, I am moved. When you held your breath in the middle of that conversation and swallowed your instinct to defend yourself, I saw it. When you went quiet after hearing what sounded like good news but felt like a trap, I saw it. When you lay in bed and worried about provision, about reputation, about whether you've missed the path entirely, I was not on the other side of a locked door, I was under the same roof, at the edge of your bed, counting your tears the way a gardener counts seeds. Hear me, none of your tears have been wasted. They are not evidence of weakness, they are evidence of investment. You have poured yourself into prayers that felt unanswered not because I ignored them, but because timing is a scaffold, and I will not drop a promise on wet cement. The foundation must cure, and when it is ready, the weight of what I place will not crack it. The storm that has been planned against you relies on your distraction. It thrives when you are hurried, when you are starved for attention, when you believe that any door is better than no door, that any voice is better than silence. So I am sanctifying this silence for the next stretch of time. Turn down the volume of every channel that breeds anxiety, for anxiety is not a prophet, it is a parrot of old fears. Let my voice be the only loud voice now. I will speak to you about two paths. The first path is wide and bright and crowded, it smells like applause and promises quick results. It asks for your urgency and rewards you with a temporary seat. The second path is narrow and steady. It smells like morning and rests on rock. It asks for your trust and rewards you with authority that does not evaporate when the room empties. The first path says, prove yourself. The second path says, be yourself in me. The first path tires you. The second path trains you. Choose the path that leaves you with me, not the path that leaves you with only a headline and a hollow echo. I am opening your eyes to patterns, how you tend to answer people faster than you answer your own spirit. How you smooth tension at your own expense, how you accept crumbs while I have a table set. This is not a rebuke, it is a rescue. If you continue feeding everyone while starving your discernment, tragedy will not need to knock, it will inherit a spare key. But if you feed your discernment now, if you choose the quiet that listens to me, if you guard your yes and sanctify your no, you will watch the storm dissolve like mist at noon. I am not calling you to suspicion, I am calling you to wisdom. Wisdom does not mean you stop loving, it means you love in truth. Wisdom does not mean you shut your heart, it means you lock the door and open it only to those who can be trusted with the furniture. You fear that emergencies mean you did something wrong, that the presence of a fight implies the absence of my favor. Hear me clearly, battles are not always punishments, Sometimes they are promotions in disguise. Only those who carry something valuable are followed by thieves. You carry light, and light draws both seekers and moths. Michael's warning is not a sentence, it is a signal to stand where I place you, to hold what I gave you, to let me handle what is above your head. When you feel the air tighten, say my name. Not as a superstition, but as a remembering. Say it the way a child says home. Say it the way a sailor looks for the lighthouse. And as you speak, you will notice the room change because rooms obey me. Winds obey me, fear knows my threshold and cannot cross without permission. I am also addressing the ache that has learned to speak first, the ache that tells you you will always be almost there, the ache that edits your laughter, the ache that reminds you of past losses as if they were prophecies. I am cutting that ache from the root tonight. I am not asking you to pretend you were not hurt. I am leading you to understand that hurt is not your heritage. Your heritage is the blessing that runs like a river even through dry seasons. Your heritage is the oil that does not stop while there is any vessel left to fill. Your heritage is the name child, not employee of chance, not tenant of fear, not prisoner of what-ifs. When tragedy writes your biography in advance, I burn the manuscript and hand you a blank page with my signature at the top. Write with me. Start with gratitude. Gratitude is not denial, gratitude is alignment. Say thank you that you can still hear me. Say thank you that warnings arrive before wounds. Say thank you that you are being pulled to safety even when you do not yet see the cliff. There is a relationship I am examining on your behalf, the one that seems to offer you a shortcut, a ladder propped against an impressive wall. Look closely, that ladder is missing rungs in the middle. You would climb quickly and then fall faster. Do not climb it. If you have already placed a foot on the first rung, step down gently now. There is also an opportunity that looks smaller, less glamorous, slower. That is the seed I have chosen. Plant it. You will not see fireworks, you will see roots, and then you will see branches that stand when fireworks are ash. Trust me to multiply the simple act you can do today instead of chasing the complicated applause you cannot keep tomorrow. Archangel Michael is clearing the field around this seed, removing the stones of distraction, the thorns of comparison, the weeds of hurry. Your job is water and sun, prayer and obedience. I will send rain when you rest, I will send light when you rise. I will speak to you now about protection in terms you can touch. Close the door on conversations that turn your spirit to ice. Close the door on rooms where you shrink yourself to fit someone's comfort. Close the door on offers that require you to rent your peace by the hour. Open the door to disciplines that look unremarkable and carry eternal weight. Open the door to mornings where you begin with me, not with a screen. Open the door to the practice of asking me before you answer anyone else. Open the door to quiet acts of order in your space, folding, clearing, arranging, because order in your room becomes order in your thoughts, and order in your thoughts becomes a runway for hope to land. You have asked me about timing, about why I permitted certain delays. You saw them as insults, I designed them as insulation. A delay kept you from forming alliances that would have indebted you to the wrong captains. A delay kept you from receiving money that was tied to chains. A delay kept you from public moments that would have given critics ammunition before your roots were deep. This is not me moving the goalpost, this is me building the stadium. When I say 35 minutes left, understand that I am not threatening you with the scarcity of time, I am highlighting the value of attention. Give me these minutes fully and watch how I stretch them into a turning point. Your future will look back and mark this hour as the hinge where the door of harm closed and the door of favor unlocked. I am calling you to forgive someone who does not deserve it by any earthly math. Forgiveness does not make you naive, it makes you nimble. It cuts the weight from your ankles so you can run when I say move. Do not confuse forgiveness with access. I am not asking you to return your heart to a careless hand. I am asking you to return the debt to me and walk out of the courtroom free. If you hold the debt, you must hold the debtor, and that means you are tethered to the past. Hand it to me. I will judge rightly. I will handle consequences. Your task is to be light enough to step into newness when it arrives, not chained to yesterday's trial. There is also a blessing stalking you with the same intensity that fear tried to stalk you. It is not fragile. It is not counterfeit. It will not need you to shrink. It will find you because I have given it your coordinates, and your coordinates are not a street or a screen. They are obedience. Walk where I ask and it will intersect you. You will say, I was simply doing what he told me, and that will be the most accurate testimony. People will call it luck, you will call it pattern. Ask, listen, do, repeat. Even the tragedy that tried to arrive will be embarrassed in the presence of this blessing, the way shadows retreat when a door opens to sun. Some of you wonder how to pray when everything feels urgent. Pray like this: God, be God in me right now. That is not laziness. That is alignment. Invite me to be myself within your boundaries, and watch those boundaries expand to fit miracles. Pray without the performance, without the theatrics, without bargaining chips. You do not purchase my attention, you already have it. Speak plainly. If you are angry, bring your anger. If you are tired, bring your tiredness. If you are hopeful, bring your hope. I am not allergic to your honesty. I am allergic to the masks that keep you from breathing. Take the mask off. You will find you are still loved and more seen because of it. I am placing 3 sentences on your tongue for tonight. First, I choose peace over panic. When you say it, you will feel your shoulders lower because panic is not your shepherd. I am. Second, I choose truth over trend. Trends move people like tides, truth plants them like trees. Third, I choose covenant over convenience. Convenience will cheat you of depth, covenant will keep you when winds are dramatic. Say these not as slogans but as keys. You will be surprised by doors that respond. I know you worry about provision. Let me speak to the ledgers that live in your mind. I am the source, people are channels. If a channel closes, do not mourn it like a god. I can open new channels in places you have never looked. I can send checks through ravens and wisdom through children and opportunities through quiet emails at unlikely hours. Your job is not to map every path. Your job is to stay in the center of mine. When I say not this, I am not being cruel, I am protecting capacity for that. When I say wait, I am not forgetting, I am fermenting. Wine comes from waiting, and you are not called to live on grape juice forever. Trust the process that tastes like patience, it ages into joy. I will now reach back, gathering the fragments of moments that convinced you that emergency is your permanent address. It is not. Your permanent address is goodness and mercy following you. Your permanent address is my table prepared in the presence of what wanted to devour you. Your permanent address is a cup that runs over even when others count drops. Take this identity and wear it. Do not let small thinkers tailor it down. Walk into rooms as one who carries kingdom atmosphere, not as one begging for permission to breathe. Archangel Michael will flank you, quiet, firm, alert. You will feel nudges, pause, go, exit, speak. Honor those nudges. That is how I escort you past the trap without the trap feeling the wind of your passing. There is a corner of your heart that still believes tragedy has the final word because it has spoken so loudly in the past. I am rewriting that belief with my finger of fire. The final word belongs to me, and the word is life. Life over your sleep, life over your relationships, life over your finances, life over your calling, life over your body. Life over your name. You will not be the headline of disaster, you will be the testimony of deliverance. Do not measure what I can do by what you have seen others settle for. There is more. There is always more with me because my supply is myself, and I do not diminish. In a little while, you will notice your breathing deepen. That is not passivity, that is peace arriving to do its work. Peace is not an absence of enemies, it is the presence of authority. Stand in that authority. Open your windows to fresh air. Drink water. Tidy the nearest surface. Send the message you've been avoiding if I nudge you to. Delete the message you drafted in anger. Apologize where pride tried to colonize your tongue. Bless those who cannot bless you back. These small obediences become large outcomes because obedience is a seed that always finds soil. I govern the harvest, and the harvest I am bringing will embarrass drought. You are not too late to be protected. You are not too stained to be chosen. You are not too small to be an answer in the lives of others. You are not too complicated for my simple love. Let me carry what has been crushing your posture. Hand me the bag with the hidden compartments where old disappointments hide. I am emptying it now. Feel the weight shift. Notice how you can look up without flinching. Notice how memories begin to lose their power to boss you around. That is healing, not amnesia. You will remember, but you will not relive. You will recall, but you will not rebleed. This is how I win without erasing your story. I redeem it. There is still a plan designed to frighten you before midnight, a sudden word meant to shake your confidence, a rumor meant to color your name. I am ahead of it. I am placing confusion in the council of your enemies. I am turning their microphones into paper and their plans into steam. Walk calmly. If you must answer, answer briefly and in truth. If you must decide, decide with me, not with the crowd. You will see how quickly panic dissolves when it is not fed. You will feel how authority multiplies when you choose not to wrestle in mud but to stand in light. I have not simply saved you from something, I am saving you for something. I am training you to recognize alarms without living alarmed, to receive warnings without becoming worried, to wield discernment without wearing cynicism like armor. You will need these muscles for the places I am taking you, places where your presence will interrupt generational patterns, where your yes will unlock rooms for others, where your story will be the key that quietly frees people who never had a gentle hand lift their chin. Do not despise the minutes that feel intense. They are crafting the steadiness you prayed for when you asked me to make you unshakable. Now, as this message settles, do what you can do and leave to me what only I can do. Can you close the door? Close it. Can you pray the simple prayer? Pray it. Can you drink water and rest your eyes? Do it. Can you choose silence instead of an argument? Choose it. I will meet your small steps with my great stride. I will meet your whisper with my thunder. I will meet your seed with my rain. And you will walk out of this hour not merely unhurt but upgraded in clarity, anchored in peace, and surrounded by favor you did not coerce. Hear the last word of this moment: you are mine. No emergency outranks that fact. No tragedy writes the end of a story I authored. No deadline dictates to the one who made time. I am here, I am active, I am for you. Archangel Michael stands watch. Angels are posted like lamps along your path. Your next minutes are a bridge, not a cliff. Cross them with me. Keep your eyes forward. Breathe my name. And when you rise from where you are, rise lighter, rise wiser, rise guarded and guided, because I have spoken and it is already changing. I speak to you now, not as a distant echo but as the living breath that moves behind your ribs, the quiet warmth that steadies your shaking hands, the light that refuses to go out when the room grows heavy with shadows. Hear me, beloved. There are 35 minutes written on the rim of this hourglass, and each grain is a prayer, each fall of sand a door that either opens or closes. Archangel Michael is already at your threshold. Armor bright, sword drawn, eyes like lightning, and he is warning because he loves, because heaven loves, because I love. A great pressure is rolling toward you like a dark tide, whispering fear, making ordinary noises sound like alarms, and the enemy hopes you will misread the moment, react in panic, choose the wrong voice, sign the wrong agreement, believe the wrong story, trust the wrong hands. But I am here. I am not a rumor. I am not late. I am not uncertain. I am God, and I plant clarity in the middle of confusion like a lamp on a hill that cannot be hidden. Listen closely. The tragedy that is trying to approach you feeds on your attention, it survives by borrowing your breath. When your mind spirals, it grows. When you speak my name, it starves. Michael has sounded the trumpet in the unseen, and the sound you cannot hear is still bending the air around you, still dividing what is for you from what is against you. I am parting the tangle. I am cutting cords that pretend to be friendship but tie you to harm. I am unclasping the hand that looked like help but held a hook. Do not ignore this, child. Do not wander in and out of my voice as if it were a passing breeze. Hold it the way a drowning person holds a rope. Grip it like the handrail on a narrow stair. I am the rope. I am the handrail. I am the stairs and the landing and the door that opens at the top. There are people who will not understand what is about to pass. Let them misunderstand for a little while. I did not write your safety in their opinion, I wrote it in my covenant. When the phone rings with urgency, pause and breathe me in before you answer. When a message arrives that tastes like metal in your mouth, do not swallow it, set it down before me and watch it lose its poison. When a face tries to borrow your trust with hurried promises, look beyond the face and you will see threads I am already severing. I do not need you to be suspicious, I need you to be still. Stillness is not laziness, it is the strength that refuses to move until heaven has placed its hand on your shoulder. In stillness, Michael fights faster, in stillness, wisdom speaks louder, in stillness, the trap misfires, and every plan set against you collapses like wet ash. You have walked a long road with shoes that did not fit, carrying burdens that do not belong to you. Tonight I am untying the knots. Hear me as I say this with the tenderness of a father and the finality of a king. You do not have to bleed to prove you are kind. You do not have to lose yourself to be loyal. You do not have to stand in the crossfire to prove you are brave. Your purpose is not a target, your heart is not a bargaining chip. Anyone who demands that you sacrifice peace to keep their comfort has confused your calling with their convenience. My child, love does not ask you to step into a fire that I did not light. Love stands with you while I extinguish every counterfeit flame. 35 minutes can feel like forever when fear keeps count. Breathe with me. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, again, until your pulse remembers that it belongs to eternity. While you breathe, I am moving people and pages, I am moving schedules and strangers, I am moving what seemed immovable. Some doors will close abruptly and the sound will startle you. Thank me for the sound, for that bang is the shout of mercy, and the door I close becomes a wall against harm. Some doors will open softly and make no noise at all. You will notice them because peace follows you across their threshold like a faithful dog. The way I lead you may look ordinary from the outside. Ordinary is how I smuggle miracles into the world without drawing the wrong eyes. You have wondered, what if I miss it? What if I misread you? My child, if your question is honest, I take your hand before you stumble. If your desire is to honor me, I protect you even from your own haste. I am not evaluating you like a judge with a cold gaze, I am escorting you like a father on a night road. You will know my yes by the way your shoulders relax. You will know my no by the way your stomach tightens. You will know my not yet by the way your spirit wants to run but your feet feel respectfully heavy. I built these instruments of discernment inside you. They are not superstition, they are the language of my nearness. Michael's warning is not a headline, it is a shield. Stand under it. There is an agreement you must not sign under pressure, a circle you must not re-enter because you feel sorry, a visit you must postpone though your heart feels pulled forward. The emergency is real, but it is not stronger than obedience. The tragedy is loud, but it is not louder than wisdom. The enemy has rehearsed the lines of manipulation, but every sentence unravels when you answer with my word. I am with you, I will never leave you, I will give you a mouth and wisdom which your adversaries cannot contradict. I prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow you. These are not slogans, they are architecture. Walk inside them and you will not be crushed. What you have carried in silence, I have not ignored. The tears you did not want to make public are already seeds in my garden. A harvest of confidence is coming up where shame was planted, and the one who tried to water your fear will be surprised to find that I turned their strategy into a flood that cleans the path ahead of you. Do not seek revenge, you are not a judge, you are a witness. Witness how I protect. Witness how I restore. Witness how I take the very hour meant to break you and fold it into the hour that makes you. The difference between breaking and making is the presence of my hand. And my hand is on you now, You are not late to your destiny, you are right on time for your training. The tremor you feel is the last cracking of an old shell. You thought the cracking was destruction, it is birth. You cannot keep living small to make others comfortable, and you cannot keep shrinking your bright to match dim rooms. I am not asking you to become loud, I am asking you to become clear. Clarity is light that refuses to argue. Stand in your clarity. Say yes with your whole chest when I ask you to step forward, say no without apology when I nudge you away. This is not arrogance, this is alignment. There is an object in your space that carries the memory of upset. A fragment of an old season that keeps humming with a frequency of grief every time you pass it. You know the thing I am pointing to, throw it away, give it away, or close it away. When you remove the echo, the room will exhale. There is a message in your phone that you reread when you feel lonely, it handles you like a hook. Delete it and watch the hook dissolve. There is a habit that pretends to soothe you but robs you of mornings. Tonight you will sense my strength where your willpower has failed. Receive the strength. You are not weak. You were simply trying to fight with a rope instead of a sword. Michael stands beside you with the sword. I place its hilt in your hands and teach you how to lift it without anger. How to use it without hatred, how to sheath it without shame. Do not be surprised when a sudden invitation appears that sounds better than it is true. Counterfeit favor arrives first to make you say no to the genuine. Counterfeit love arrives first to make you say no to the faithful. Counterfeit opportunity arrives first to make you laugh at the quiet door that actually belongs to you. This is why I am teaching you the weight of peace. If it glitters but feels frantic, step back. If it sparkles but asks you to betray your boundaries, refuse. I am not hiding your portion in chaos, I am laying it out on a table set with simple plates and sturdy cups, and when you sit, joy will begin to taste like bread again. You worry about those you love, and you do not want my protection for yourself only. Hear me, the shield is wide. Stretch your prayers like a canopy and call their names, and Michael will mark their doorposts with the oil of my preservation. You cannot control their choices, but you can summon my presence over their paths. Pray not from panic but from partnership. When you speak, picture me listening without impatience, leaning toward you with absolute attention. I am not bored by repeated names, I am moved by steadfast love. What you lift to me, I lift with you until it becomes light enough to carry. In the next hours you will receive a sign that is plain but personal. It will not be a spectacle. It will be the exact word you need at the exact moment, delivered in such a way that only your heart would recognize its gentle accuracy. When that happens, nod back to me and continue. Do not stop to build a shrine around the sign. The sign points, it is not the destination. The destination is a life aligned with me, a day that begins in peace without waiting for perfect circumstances, a night that ends in gratitude without keeping score of offenses, a future that is not negotiated with fear. You have asked me to speak clearly, and I am speaking clearly now. Close the open window that invites storm air into your spirit. You know which window I mean. Close it with forgiveness where you can. With boundaries where you must, with silence where words have lost their fruit. Not every battle is won by a speech, some victories bloom in quiet decisions. When you close it, you will hear the rain on the outside and the hush on the inside, and you will smile because you will remember what safety sounds like. That sound is me, guarding you like a house with good walls. Do not confuse compassion with permission. Compassion lets the prodigal rest on the porch and feel the warmth of soup. Permission hands them your house keys while they are still drunk on recklessness. Keep compassion. Withhold permission until wisdom nods. I will not let you be shamed for being careful. I made you a gatekeeper on the border of your life. Gates are not cruel, gates are how gardens survive. The tragedy that was scripted for you required your agreement to succeed. You are withdrawing your agreement now by choosing my voice. You are refusing to be baited into arguments that don't need your presence. You are stepping out of triangles that were never yours to fix. You are returning the weight of outcomes to my hands, and in doing so you will feel your spine lengthen, your breath deepen, your eyes brighten. This is deliverance without spectacle, the quiet liberation of a soul that remembers who is God and who is not. You are not the universe's janitor. You are my child. I am healing the small places that make big decisions wobble. I am touching memories that felt like broken glass and softening them into lessons that no longer cut you when you recall them. I am instructing your nights to rest and your mornings to rise with appetite for good work. There is a task you have delayed because it seemed insignificant. Complete it, and watch how a string of favor beads from that one act of obedience. Sign the form that is yours to sign, send the note that is yours to send, clean the corner that is yours to clean. The enemy despises small obediences because small obediences close the doors he uses. Your name is safe in my mouth. I pronounce it over rooms you have not entered yet, and the sound of it prepares respect in the hearts of those who will meet you. You do not have to beg to be seen. You do not have to audition for the right to rest. You do not have to earn the right to be protected. Everything about this season will try to convince you that scarcity rules the day. It does not. I do. Where others ration affection to gain control, I pour love without measurement. Where others ration truth to maintain advantage, I speak plainly because I am the advantage. Walk with bold gentleness. Be strong enough to be kind and clear enough to be firm. Michael stands now between you and the hidden spear. It will not reach you. You will hear its clatter at your feet as it misses. This is not to make you boastful, it is to make you grateful and attentive. After the clatter comes the temptation to gloat or to scold. Do neither. Step over what missed you and keep moving. Your story is not about the spear, your story is about the one who taught you how to walk without tripping over other people's weapons. Let the one who threw it learn in the silence of my dealings. I correct to restore, I restrain to protect, I reveal to heal. Take inventory of your inner room. Replace fear's old chair with hope's steady bench. Place gratitude by the window, it loves to watch the morning arrive. Put wisdom at the table and feed it time and attention, it grows bright when nourished. Invite joy to sing quietly in the corner, it will know when to rise and carry the melody. Tell shame it has no lease here, its contract was cancelled with a royal seal. When shame knocks, answer the door with Michael by your side, and watch it forget its script. You have asked about provision and the future, whether you will have enough, whether you will be enough. I answer you with myself. Enough is not a number, it is my nearness. I am not promising you a life without stretch, I am promising you a life where stretch becomes strength. You will see me in invoices balanced and in ideas given at the right time, in a mentor who appears without fanfare, in a burden lifted from your schedule, in a relationship that becomes reciprocal instead of draining, in the courage to decline what once trapped you. In the serenity to wait without self-condemnation. All of this is provision. All of this is protection. All of this is evidence that I am not a theory in your life, I am Lord in your life. Now gather yourself. Place your hand over your heart and say with me, quietly but firmly, I choose peace. I choose wisdom. I choose obedience. I choose to be led. As you say it, feel the room steady. The minutes are still passing, but the fear has lost its teeth. My angels are already stationed at the corners of your dwelling. Michael has traced a bright line around your threshold and whispered your name like a banner. Sleep will return to you, and when you wake you will not wake into dread but into direction. You will know the next step because it will be the one that does not argue with your spirit. Take it. Then the next. I will walk, and you will match my pace. If tears rise, let them. Tears are not weakness, they are the rain that softens the soil for new roots. If laughter breaks out of you for no obvious reason, let it ring. Joy sometimes arrives as reconnaissance, scouting the territory before the full celebration. If stillness wraps you like a blanket, rest. You are not being lazy, you are receiving repair. Your heart has worked hard. Let me be the one who does the next hard work while you breathe and trust. Remember this when memories come disguised as prophecies of doom. The past has no license to predict your future when I am the author who continues to write. Remember this when strangers try to become authorities in your story. I do not outsource my voice. Remember this when pressure rises, you can pause without losing your place. I hold your place. You cannot be late to a life I am guiding, you cannot lose a destiny I am guarding, you cannot miss a door I am holding open, and you cannot be trapped by a snare I have already broken. So open this fully now, not just with your eyes but with your will. Agree with heaven. Decline panic. Bless your own steps with your own mouth. Speak well of what I am doing even before you feel it, and watch feeling catch up to faith. 35 minutes are enough when eternity teaches them how to stretch. I am stretching this moment into a corridor of protection. Walk it with Michael on your right and mercy on your left, with goodness behind you and hope ahead. The tragedy will find no purchase. The emergency will diffuse in the light. And when the hour turns and the sands finish their fall, you will still be standing, clearer, lighter, braver, loved beyond measure, guarded beyond doubt, and ready for the good I planned while darkness tried to distract you. I am with you. I am with you. I am with you. I am speaking to you now because the time is not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready, but now. Every breath you take between these words is counted, and every second that passes is full of meaning. 35 minutes left is not a threat, it is a trumpet, a bell that rings in a quiet street to summon you from distraction, from wandering thought, from the places where you numb the ache of not knowing what comes next. I am calling you by the name I gave you before the first morning opened its eyes. I know your voice in every room. I know your tears even when they never fall. I know your clenched jaw, your hidden sighs, your long stare out the window when you pretend to look at clouds but are really searching for me. I am here, closer than your pulse, and I am telling you gently and firmly, wake, listen, turn, and live. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your minutes with the sword I placed in his keeping. He does not come to frighten you, but to cut through what strangles you. He is not sent to punish you, but to guard you from the thing that punishes you in cycles, that repeats itself with a different mask and the same outcome. The warning is not the tragedy, the warning is mercy before it knocks. The emergency is not chaos. The emergency is the moment your heart must decide that enough is enough, that you will not walk blind into a room I have already lit for you. Hear me, there is a pattern coiling around your steps, an old serpent of habits, voices, and arrangements that pretend to protect you but secretly siphon your joy. They delay you, distract you, drain you, and then tell you that you are weak. No more. Michael says stop, and I say rise. I have watched you carry a story that was never yours. A story where you are always late, always less, always losing. A story where your kindness is taken for chains, where your loyalty is traded for crumbs, where your silence is misread as consent. I am writing a new sentence over your day, and it begins with this: I choose you for courage. Courage is not a loud noise, it is a clear direction. Courage is not the absence of trembling, it is the decision you make while you tremble. Courage is turning the handle of a locked door because I told you it will open. Archangel Michael has his hand on your shoulder as you reach, and I am the one who fashioned the passageway on the other side. The tragedy that tries to come is a plan that feeds on fear and haste. When fear tightens, you make desperate agreements. When haste screams, you miss my whisper. So I am lowering the volume of the world and raising the certainty of my voice. Do not sign what steals your future. Do not answer what poisons your peace. Do not run to the loudest bell, run to the truest bell. The thing that threatens to break you is not stronger than the word I speak to uphold you. You feel its approach in small oddities, the sudden heaviness for no reason, the argument that erupts from nothing, the half-truth that lands like a hook, the message that demands an instant reply, the invitation that flatters and confuses you in the same breath. These are not signs of your failure, they are signals that you are closer to a threshold than you realize. Darkness rattles the latch when light is about to come in. I am unraveling traps that were set with fine thread. Some were woven in old rooms by familiar hands. Some were spun by your own fears, by the words you believed about yourself when you were tired and hurt. I do not shame you for those moments. I came to lift you from them. I am not measuring you by your worst day. I am measuring you by the day I already see, the day you will stand and call others forward because you dared to stand when it shook. You will not break. You will bend toward me and live. Michael is showing you exits you missed before. Look again at the obvious path you dismissed as too small. Look again at the conversation you avoided because it felt messy. Look again at the boundary you meant to set and postponed. The door is not far, it is near. The decision is not complicated, it is simple and strong. When your yes is aligned with me, it has weight. When your no is anchored in me, it is not cruelty, it is clarity. You are allowed to be clear. I say this to you with tenderness. You are allowed to be safe. You are allowed to be at peace. You are allowed to stop carrying what others are responsible to carry. You are allowed to be guarded by my angels without apologizing for it.